if you are not wanting to spend time with yourself, how do you expect someone else to want to spend time with you? In marriage or a healthy relationship starts with a healthy individual.
Yes. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Lisa Nkomo, and if you're a returning subscriber, hello, welcome to my channel, and thank you for choosing to watch my video again. Today, as you can see, we have the beautiful, the lovely Ladylovebug. I don't know, should I even let you introduce yourself? Because I think they know.
I love that intro. Hi everybody.
So we're here today, and it's been a long time coming. We were talking about it since 8, guys. So we've been planning to have this shoot, but we believe the timing of the Lord.
God's timing.
God's time is the best time. So we're here today. And
so excited. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for honoring my invite. It means a lot. So, as we all know, as many of us know, always Ladylovebug is like the queen of marriage.
Yeah. Wow. I don't know queen.
The queen of marriage, always like trying to get marriages
to win.
To win and to show good men. The institution is still a very good institution. So I thought it was perfect to have her to speak on the single season.
Very important season.
So now that she's married and all of that, she probably has a lot that she can tell us about.
Yeah, before I was married, I was single.
You were single. Actually, I was going to ask you that question. Did you even become single in your life? Because we know you and Mr. Mehlo were together for 9 years.
No, I was single. I was very single at a point in my life.
At what age were you single? Where do you remember a period where you were single and it was quite long?
20, 21, 22. I was dating, but I was dating as in I was going out on dates. But,
it wasn't a proper relationship.
Yeah, no, I had a relationship that I loved and adored, but then it didn't work out. So then I took my time and I just, I was single.
You were single. And how was the single season for you?
I enjoyed my single season. And bear in mind, when I speak of single season, I speak of the fact that Home Affairs does not recognize you.
Okay, alright. Not Tuti.
Not just Guti Ube one with
nobody.
No, I also speak of Home Affairs not recognizing you, which is a very important phase in your life. And for me, it was a time for me to get to know myself and what I like and what I dislike. And even with the different people I met and I went out on dates with, then I could pinpoint,
this is not what I want.
This is not what I want for me. This is not the end goal for me. And some of those relationships then you hold dear to your heart and you're like, I love this guy. This guy's going to be my partner. He's going to be everything to me. And that's not what God wants for you. And then it's painful. You're removed painfully by God from that relationship. But you take away so much. As in, you've learned something from that person you dislike. A positive something, and then you also learn more about yourself.
Yes, true.
Do I need to be more patient? Do I need to be more selfless? Do I need to be more selfish? So you take a lot from your single season, but you need to listen. Because that's when I feel also, if sometimes you're not even dating, you're just alone. And sometimes you're asking God, can you bring a person? Can you bring the right person? And it's so silent. But silence is so good if you're listening. And a lot of people are not listening in their silent moments, in their single seasons. Because you want to be with somebody. You're not even giving yourself room to breathe. To enjoy and grow.
True, you give yourself so much to someone and you're not even at that stage yet. That's not the point where I think maybe we don't understand the fact that in a relationship it's not the point where you're supposed to give yourself completely. I mean, I know in marriage there's compromise, there's that, and there is a level of that in relationships as well. But it shouldn't be a thing of magic. umfazi manje.
No, now you
I feel bound. Yes,
you're
wifing.
wifing.
You can't do anything outside because manje ubani is gonna not like that. Ubani is not gonna, all of that. And then there's a point you mentioned, Uti, God removes you from situations where you were holding on dearly.
Yeah.
I remember my mentor once said to me, the problem with our generation now is that we get into relationships and we marry ourselves in those relationships because your heart is not supposed to be for someone. Your heart is for God. And the minute you understand that, because I am belongs to God. Yeah. I'm not supposed to be giving my whole entire heart. Yeah. So you can love that person. It's possible to love. Yeah. But know that your heart belongs to God.
The problem is that we end up idolizing the relationship.
Yes, that's the problem. That's why you and the most challenges you literally do everything to make sure this relationship works no matter what.
Even though you know it's toxic.
Even you know it's not working.
He's not good for you. Or she's not good for me. You're going to end up idolizing just the idea of being with somebody because you're so afraid of being alone. And if you are not wanting to spend time with yourself, how do you expect someone else to want to spend time with you?
I guess people say, if you don't enjoy your own company, how do you expect people to enjoy your company?
Exactly.
Because if you're toxic to yourself, how do you expect to be okay and loving to someone else? It's the same thing if you fill out your cup. You can't give from an empty cup.
Exactly.
The cup needs to be full in order for you to give to others and for them to pour and your cup overflows.
And that's the beauty about God. I mean, God does not ask for permission. God doesn't seek validation. He does what God knows best to do for you, and He will remove you or get you out of a relationship, and you will be in pain. And guys, I can definitely heartbreak. Like I always say, I wish heartbreak had pills. You can go to a pharmacy and say, but now you believe the heartbreak. There isn't. And you question your being, you question it's not meant to be somebody, why I'm going through so much. But the truth is, that's where you need to recognize God. That's why most time, as cliche as it sounds, time heals all wounds. It really does.
Yes.
But if you are open to healing, if you are intentional in healing, and also if you want to see why God got me out of that relationship, and most of the time we see it. We say, that was going to be bad for me. That was going to be, imagine if I married that guy, or imagine if I married her. That was going to be a total
disaster. And we only realize these things once you're out of the relationship. Sadly enough. I mean, when the relationship ends, you're sad, you cry, you're heartbroken and all of that. And only later on do you realize actually,
you go back and
if I was married to that person, and speaking of which, the other day I was talking to a friend about an ex of mine, and she was like, friend, to be honest, I'm glad you left that. You deserve so much better. And it was only until she said that I realized, actually, you're so right.
Yes.
I mean, I cried so much thinking, I thought this guy is the one. What does that mean? And then we question ourselves so much. Like when a relationship ends, you start thinking, something's wrong with me.
Because you forget that there's Lisa before a relationship.
Exactly. So now you doubt Lisa that was before even the guy that you met, and now you're thinking, I need Lisa talks too much.
That's why I'm a big advocate for spending time with yourself and getting to know yourself, and not just getting to know yourself, enjoying the fruits of your labor, enjoying the things you love, exploring. Because when marriage comes, because marriage will come, and it will come with its ups, and it will come with its lows. But when your lows hit in your marriage, you will not be shaken by what's going on, because you know who Lisa is, and you know what you stand for and why you're here. But if you go into marriage half-heartedly, and you don't know exactly where you want to be in life, where you want to go, what do you want to do, and bear in mind we evolve and
things change,
but there's a certain principle that remains with Lisa. I'm a child of God. I love God.
That doesn't change,
and that won't change. Those principles that will remain with you, and that you carry in your single season, and you strengthen in your single season.
Yes.
You strengthen your roots. I read something just recently that said people are shaken a lot by relationships because they only know the tree, but they don't know the root of the tree. They don't know the what it took to grow this tree, what happened, what it went through, its winters and its autumns, and marriage is seasonal. And if you don't go through your seasons in your singlehood, you're not gonna survive the seasons in marriage because you struggled as a solo person. How are you going to do it with somebody else? And we're quick to jump into marriage and then go very umshado, and then you're like, I can't just say one out. It gets over, and who's going to blame you? Nobody. You know why? Because they're also going to say, because you didn't know what you were into, because you didn't know who Lisa was.
You didn't discover who you were, which is what is important.
Marriage is hard on its own. It's hard on its own. Now it's harder if you're not willing to spend time with yourself.
That's so hectic. Now, once you've dated, this is for people that have dated, and then you get out of the relationship. And I know there are people that they can't be single. Like literally, there has to be someone that comes in.
We know you guys. We know you. We have some of you in our lives.
Like there are those people. Yes. I don't know. Like I'm trying to understand what really causes someone to do that. Is it the fear of being alone? The fear of loneliness?
It's the fear of loneliness. It's the fear of being alone, and more so sometimes it's a certain trauma somebody carries with them that nobody knows of. That I was most of the time like another person grows up in a family or not in no family where everybody that came into his or her life left, and finally find somebody who might say, oh my God, they love me, they care for me, they're not leaving me, even though it's not good for you. You're like, no, I'm not letting this one go, I'm not letting you go. And then when you do let them go, you're like, I don't want to be alone, I need to find somebody else
to fill that gap.
So usually it's people either who have gone through certain traumas in life or experienced certain things in their lives that prevent them or make them afraid of wanting to spend time with themselves. People were like, no, married people are struggling during lockdown. But the truth is a lot of singles people are struggling
as well.
And why are they struggling? They don't want to face themselves. They don't want to face their issues. They don't want to face the things they're afraid to deal with. And that's why a lot of people run away from stuff like therapy, because therapy is a realization of so many things. That's why a lot of people run away from God, because God is a realization of your life and what it is and what it should be. You know,
it's like comparison. We see, this is how I'm supposed to be.
This like is actually, where. Yes.
This is what I'm doing instead. And now it's a whole thing of I have to change. Now I have to start afresh. I think we're also so scared of starting afresh. You feel like I would rather not.
I'm too old to start afresh. I know this guy, I've been dating him for 5 years, 6 years.
I might as well.
Time. Who are you? Who's the author of your life? You? No, you haven't been given. You've been given your life. You didn't give yourself
your life. And there's a sermon by Priscilla Shah. Yes, where she says, you are young if you are 20 and you're going to die at 70. But you're old if you're 20 and you're going to die at 30. So we don't even know our time frames. But we're so worried about, oh, it's too late. I can't go back to therapy and fix myself. I'd rather stay here.
Because we forget that I did not give myself life. I was given it. It's a gift.
And I have no control over it.
And I am not perfect. I'm born of sin. So nothing in my life is going to be perfect. No one is perfect. Because I always say there are no perfect marriages because there are no perfect people ever.
And I think we do that even a lot, even when you are single, where you start feeling like, maybe I'm single because of the past mistakes I've made. Maybe this is punishment from God.
That's why you need to leave it behind.
That's the thing. You need to understand that you are born of sin. So no matter what has happened to you, God still loves you. You're still his child. You're still
the
chosen.
Same thing. You're not the same Lisa that you were when you were 12, when you're 15. You're not the same Lisa you were when you're 20, when you were 15. So you evolve, you change for the better, could be for the worse. It depends according to you, but you evolve and you make an intentional decision of this is the person I want to become. Who do I hang with? Who is my circle? Who is my family? Because best to believe you can choose family as well.
You can. No matter what they say.
Who is my family? And most importantly, who is my God? How, when he says you were made in the likeness of my image, you are me, who is God? You know, what were the struggles of Christ? What did he have to go through when he was on earth? You are that person. And so you're not going to be perfect. You're going to be beaten to the ground. You're going to be judged. You're going to be this and you're not going to be perfect in anyone's eyes, and that's fine. But what's important is, who are you to you? And a lot of people struggle with that. Who am I to myself? That's why they never want to be with themselves, because they can't identify with anything.
And you can only do all of those things, understand who you are, anchor yourself in God in your single season. I think that's what we don't really understand. That the time alone is the important time to gather yourself and get to know.
You will frustrate your partner. And it will be a partner that is the problem. It will be a partner that is the problem. Khantia, it's not your partner, you're the problem. Because you don't want to deal with self. And a lot of singles and have an issue of wanting to not be alone, because they're masking whatever issues and traumas they have. That's why we like normalize therapy. If you don't have the means to therapy, normalize God. It's not far. It's not far. It's a book away. Now we have digital ways where it can be an audio book, your Bible can, you have not a reader or whatever. There's so many ways. Normalize and get to know God and what God says about you and who you are. And I swear you're going to leave so many things behind you that even when they see, but like, do you know me now?
Yes. And we also need to release ourselves from holding on to the mistakes we made when we didn't know better.
It's like the first year of marriage. Oh, I was a screamer.
How much you mean you're a screamer?
But 6 years in, I'm not that person. I went and I was intentional to say, you might make your marriage collapse if you continue
doing
this.
Yes.
So it's those hard truths that you have to have with self to correct yourself, and then you become a better person. And you're not going to get it right immediately, but with intention and introspection, it gets better. It really does. That's why a lot of people would choose to rather, I'm now with Lisa. Okay. Abangani bakho sazi Lisa, then to you hlulene no Lisa, so no Lebo. How don't hlulene? When did that happen now, dog? It's not a thing with you know, you just fight. No, it's because there's something you're running away from.
There's something you're running away from.
You're not trying to face something. And you won't stay in any relationship, whether it's a friendship, whether it's a marriage, with divorce is painful. You don't want to go there. So you won't stay in any relationship. You'll keep changing them because you don't want to be single. You don't want to be alone. You don't want to deal with the things that need you to deal with, that need you. That need you self.
And you alone.
Yeah. No one's gonna help you. Your partner that is only going to help. It also taller in our burdens, and then they're gonna get tired to say, I can't be this person for you all the time. You need to deal with self.
At some point, you need to be able to stabilize yourself. In as much as your partner is there to support, they're actually there to support, not to be the one to carry everything.
I always say, my husband will always say, it's God. And then after God, it's each other. It's self. And then it's each other. Because I need to be a healthy individual in ability to be a healthy wife and to be a healthy mom. That's why I take the time out to have solo dates, or if it's not solo dates, because I mean you don't want to look like I'm a bad or like with your girlfriends and or your family that makes you happy. in your own individual space, also supporting each other. We were just speaking about it earlier. My husband loves soccer. Supporting him in the things he loves, that's him. That's not me.
That's not you.
He's taking care of self.
And you're just supporting him.
Yes. So in taking care of self, you're a healthy individual. Therefore, you'll be a healthy girlfriend. You'll be a healthy boyfriend. You'll be a healthy mommy. You'll be a healthy wife or husband. It all begins with God, and then you, and
then the partner, then everyone else. Now, you were speaking about how we are so afraid of being alone and all of that. And sometimes it is like a thing where it's a, what do we call it in English? Where you, like it's a response to the things that you've gone through.
Trauma,
So watching your dad leave you, watching...
Now you think it's going to happen to you.
I'm also going to always be this person. And now you hold on to things that don't even have substance.
Yeah.
You know, things that you can see is not worth it. You can see this guy is
people
not...
need to allow themselves, and people need to give themselves permission to change their narrative. If you give yourself permission and you allow yourself and tell yourself that I am changing the narrative, generational curses exist. They are real. But how do you realize that something is a generational curse? By admitting and saying it happened to mom, it happened to dad, it happened to sister, it happened to aunt and uncle, it happened now to sister, and now it's happening. No, it's not gonna happen. It's something only happens when you allow it to. Whenever you give it space and room in your life.
Yes. It's like the watering of a plant. You're watering that idea. That is what is my life, and then it grows. Yeah. And it ends up being that. And
you're giving it time.
You're giving it effort and attention, and so it is going to be
exactly. So it becomes, and then some people are not privileged enough to be in a generation where we live with so much information, and we have so many gifted and spiritual people in our lives. That are so accessible to anybody, even not just abafundisi or mentors, but books. Books.
It doesn't have to be a physical person.
It doesn't have to be a physical person, and you need to, with intention, find a way of saying, okay, this is a problem, Mikai, and being honest, and then saying, okay, I need to change that narrative. I'm giving myself that task. I am making it my goal, and I'm giving myself permission to stop it here. And you are not your past. I am not my parents' past, because I come from a background where they divorce. I say mine is a divorce. I come from a background which is vele besina tiskolo or nani vele. You know, no. That's now your choice. And we live in a time where everything is normalized. I hate it, but everything is normalized. But one thing you should normalize is changing narrative for yourself, for your future. If you want a family and you want a healthy relationship, and you saw that down the lineage the relationships were healthy, why were they not healthy? What was the biggest issue? Was it cultural? Was it traditional? Was it spiritual? Was it emotional? Physical? What are the attributes that kept family from having healthy relationships? You need to be honest with self. Uncomfortable, sure, but uncomfortable conversations breed healthy minds and healthy relationships and healthy communication. And then after that, that's the introspection part of it. After the introspection part of it, then you're like, okay, I'm giving myself the permission I spoke about. I'm not going to do that. That's not going to be my life.
And that happens when you're single most of the time.
It has to stop there. You can't figure yourself out in a relationship.
True. Yeah, that's why I can't be dealing with Unisa that's confused. Today, unstable.
You're going to frustrate the next person, and it's not fair. And just because you don't take, because you are afraid of being alone and you're afraid of facing the truth. It's okay. It's healthy to be alone. It's a beautiful time to be alone. You have no one to answer to. You have no one to call, and they'll be back at this time. It is a season of of blossoming. It's a season of permission. It's a season of acceptance. It's a season of truth, introspection, and intentionality.
And it's also selfishness. That's where the selfishness can actually happen.
You root out whatever needs to be rooted out. You don't root it out in marriage. You root it out before.
Because then I think it's also dangerous, because then you get to marriage and then you is selfish.
Yeah.
You can't even be selfless because you never gave yourself the time to just be you and have the. You know how they always talk about, you must enjoy your youth, you must first do this. Even though we sometimes disagree in terms of what asishu would see like
no.
But it also means would just generally enjoy being with yourself. Before you want to.
Literally, if you're gonna date, go out for the free food. Go out for the free food.
If he's willing.
If he's willing to say I paid for that date, be like, okay, find a cute outfit, go out.
Exactly.
Exactly. So that's my thing. People take life too seriously, and we're quick to want to jump into stages we're not ready for. And that's why I have a group of friends who are all married, and I know a lot of people DM us and be like, oh my god, just yesterday I went out with a husband, we had a night out, and a lovely human said, I look up to you guys so much. You guys are such an amazing. And it's like, I want your marriages. It's like, no.
No, that's not how it's supposed to be.
No, don't say that. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with my marriage, but I have my own thorns in my marriage. You know, my friends have their own thorns in their marriage. Pray for what God has designed for you.
Yes. And yesterday I was actually at a prayer breakfast, youth prayer breakfast. And we're talking about how, you know, God's time, sometimes you think you're ready for something, but you're not. And that's when you're single and you're so frustrated and you're like, but God, why aren't you bringing me my husband? Why aren't you bringing me, you know, the husband of my youth? I also want to, you know, get that's the husband of my youth. But we don't realize what you think you're ready, but actually you're not. And maybe, just maybe, in your life, that is not a priority to God.
That is true.
Maybe that's not even something that He wants for you.
Our journeys aren't the same.
Exactly. I need to say, guys. We can't all be, you know, married to. Some people are married, but they can't do that.
And unfortunately, I need to shut this on.
Unfortunately, it's the reality.
But you know what? More than anything, I just love being the tool. So I want marriages and I want relationships to work. But a healthy marriage or a healthy relationship starts with a healthy individual.
Yes, true.
That's why I speak a lot to singles. As much as I speak to marrieds, I think the reason marriages die is because we don't have healthy singles. And that's why we live in a time where if we turn back to divorce, celebrity divorce. And then you find many people saying, I won't get married. That's why I put it up as a poster. You can't get married. You can't say, I don't want to get married because you're celebrity couple.
Yes.
No, they are not you. They are not the person you're going to marry. They are not your relationship. You don't know their struggles. You don't know their thorns. And but doesn't mean whatever they went through, whatever their fate was, is going to be your fate
as well.
You know what I mean? So for me, it's always saying, be healthy, man. Love who you are. Even at a point, you're not going to be discouraged if you're married one day and your husband didn't see today we are baba, and he didn't tell you. And not because he don't want to tell you, because maybe life was happening at that time.
Yes.
And it's like, now when I was also you didn't tell me.
So but 1 week.
But babe, look at you.
If you
you see all of that. Actually, no, sorry, babe. You exude a certain level of confidence and a certain level of self-love that even if, let's say, your partner was missing some self-love, it feeds off to him. It becomes his thing. It becomes he has no choice but to love himself
too.
Because my wife adores herself. And I mean, it's one of the things I say with my son all the time. I'm like, baby, you look cute today. You're a Hank, and he's like, Mommy, Hank. You're like, yes, you look handsome. I want to raise a son that knows that he doesn't need validation from the world. He doesn't need the world to tell him this is who you are. He doesn't need his parents' traumas and issues falling upon him. You know what I mean? So the same thing as I said in the beginning, God does not need validation. He doesn't need affirmation. He is his own.
Yes.
You know, and that's what we need to be for
and
ourselves.
Because we are made in the image of God, that is exactly what we're supposed to do.
In his fullness and his likeness.
Trust Uguti, I'm good enough. And the right person is gonna come, but don't sit on that. Don't. Divorce is painful, guys.
I haven't been through it, but I see the people around me that are going through and have went through. And when Miles Monroe says, divorce is a form of death and it's worse than physical death. And I saw it and I've been seeing it, and I was like, I don't want to be there.
So you put
I put in the work, and not just in my marriage, I put in the work in self. Saying, I spoke to my husband like that, I'm not going to do it again. I did this but that takes introspection and truth within yourself.
Oh, this was amazing.
Amazing.
This helps someone, man. I hope this
too
gets someone in a place where they just accept. Just accept it. This is my season.
And enjoy it. Don't question God. Don't question God. I know we do. And I think that's why the hardest prayer to pray is do your will. Because most of the time by saying do your will, most of the time it's not yours. It's not what you want.
It's not what you want
for yourself.
Yes, it's not what you want.
Yes, but at the end of the day, God has his best intentions for us in our lives. He knows at what time, at one point you're going to be, where you're going to be. I always say, me and you sitting here, my pastor always says, that me and you sitting here today, it's predestined.
Predestined, yes.
God knew that at this hour, I'd be sitting with Lisa, talking about a single season, you know. So trust what God has for your life. It's hard, and I, for one, sometimes still struggle with it, and I'm being very frank and honest. But I then pull myself towards myself, and I'm like, you're the author. You're writing this book. Yes. You've written this book.
It's actually written. It's already. Yes.
It's written. It's not something you're still thinking up. It's written. I just need to trust that you have my back, and you have your best interests for me, and that's what I want every woman to do and every man to do that. You know what? Sometimes it's okay to leave that relationship.
Yes.
Sometimes it's okay to choose yourself and be selfish. It hurts. You think for other people, how is he going to feel? I've made his family. What if they don't? No. Choose yourself. And the right person will enter your life, and you'll know it. Your spirit of discernment will pick it up, and it will come from the little tiny things, not the big things, the little tiny things. I say with my husband, one of the biggest things is that he respects everybody that comes across me and that I love, and my parents and my friends, and he respects them all the same. And for me, that was such a huge attribute. And I was like, if you can respect a beggar on the street, if there's a certain level of respect for those people, what that means, then the respect I'm going to get is major.
It's even more because he loves you.
Because he loves me. You know, so you need to look at the fine comb of things, and don't be afraid to build. When you meet that person, don't be afraid to build. Not everything comes shiny and all gold and silvery, and you can start carrying your Louis Vuitton bags today and be that person and be that wife.
Somewhere.
You guys start somewhere.
And I remember you and Luda actually shared that with Nakala, like.
Hey!
So it's important to know it's not everyone that's the other. And yes,
so listen on my couch, and I don't know how many times I've changed couches. Now we have the luxuries of saying,
"Oh, I don't like this one."
Just this morning, I was like, I want to change the fabric. It's like, babe, this couch is not old. It's like new, so it's still under warranty. I'm like, I know, I just want to change the fabric. But that's the patience. That's the carving. Yes. You carve. Every friendships, you
Yes.
carve it. You carve it. And I was speaking to a friend of mine this morning. I'm like, if you want a good relationship, if you want a good friendship, you need to put in the work.
You do. You really do.
And it's not just with you, it's not just with them, but it's with self. And with self comes truth, introspection, and sometimes truth is not something you're going to tell yourself. It's going to come sit here and say, Lisa, no, I
told you.
But sometimes messaging, God doesn't come himself, he sends somebody to talk to you. And that's what it is. So guys, enjoy your single season. I'm not single, guys. Sometimes like my husband, I'm single. Relax. Don't get too excited.
Cuts. Oh man, thank you so much.
Thank you for having
me.
me.
Beautiful. This was so beautiful. I hope we all learned something from this, man.
I hope
even
so
if you take just one thing, or maybe just enjoy the conversation.
Yeah.
You know, it's something.
Yeah.
And for us to really, don't let go of your values because you feel shiny scats.
Principle.
Why am I not in a relationship?
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying that 25.
Yeah.
Hey, clock. Yeah. Absolutely no need to settle. Absolutely no need to compromise your worth. So man, let's build ourselves in single
guys,
and then build good relationships and then build good marriages. Yeah, that
represent. At the end of the day, every good relationship, every good romantic, every good romantic relationship starts from a great friendship, and a great friendship starts from healthy individuals. So
we will stop it right there. That's where it ends. Thank you guys so much for watching our video. Thank you
for having me.
Or Mrs. Mehla for being here. And please subscribe, please like, please share. And till next time, well, bye.